How was it?
Yeah, it was really special, a special moment. It was great to see not only Drew and Coach Payton, but the whole group of guys that had come out just to be there on his behalf, and just it was a great reunion. Drew obviously is a special person. And, you know, his speech was amazing, and everything that he said, you know, comes from the heart. It was really fun to be there.
What dimension does DJ Moore bring to this offense? That I know you weren't here last year, but what extra dimension do you think he brings?
Well, I think he obviously brings, you know, a ton of value in the pass game. I think that he has, you know, the ability to do quite a bit of different things for us. Again, we're still kind of going through the process of training camp, but we're putting him in a lot of different spots, a lot of different positions, a lot of different routes, and obviously that would probably get more game plan specific as we start to get into games. But right now, you know, he's bringing an element of speed and you know, some big plays out there for us.
How does a player like Jackson Hawes bring a dynamic element to your offense with his blocking and catching ability?
Yeah, obviously there's a big part of that, especially with the, you know, the blocking part of it in the run game. You know, so you can go through like the off season, there's no pads on, and then all of a sudden you put the pads on, you're starting to block, and maybe you run the ball more. You have some periods dedicated to the run, and you're seeing, you know, oh, that's, you know, that's what we expect, and he obviously brings a lot in that role for us.
Have you made a determination, or you and Joe, of how the operation's going to go game day yet? Or are you going to try some stuff out in the preseason, meaning
Yeah.
upstairs, downstairs?
Yeah, we'll have one game where I'm up, one game where I'm down, and then just kind of see how that flow goes for him, really, more than anything, and what he's more comfortable with. So the discussion has been had, but a decision has not been made.
Do you have a preference? I know you just said you're going to defer to him. But
Yeah, I don't have a preference. I haven't been up in the box in a long time, but I have no problem going up there. And, you know, again, what's going to bring the most value to him is what's most important.
What have you learned about James Cook since you've been here?
I love the player, but anytime you can get the ball in his hands, you have an opportunity for a big play. You know, we're fortunate to have him. I think that he can bring value not only in the run game and in the pass game as well.
Is that an area that you think can be explored a little bit more in the pass game?
Yeah, I think part of that'll be week to week game plan. How's the matchups? But obviously, we feel pretty good anytime you can find a way to get the ball in his hands.
what else are you hoping to get out of this week leading up to the preseason meeting, just from an operations standpoint, from a player
I think.
standpoint? I know it's the first one. But
Yeah, I still think that we're in training camp mode. Mindset for the next couple days is it's just like we're still in training camp, and when we get to the later half of the week, then we'll start focusing on the preseason game.
How would you assess what you've seen from the quarterbacks behind Josh?
Yeah, I think that they both bring a ton of value, not only on the field, but what they bring to the meeting room, their relationship with Josh, their ability to communicate with him, and kind of from their vision too, what they see. But I think that, again, as we get into the preseason and play some games, it'll be a great opportunity to see them both. I think that they both have had some practices where you come off and you're excited about it.
Is that an open competition at this point?
Yeah, it's a competition, and you know, they both have shown they're in this building for a reason. And so, again, as we get going forward with some of the preseason games, that'll be a good time to really evaluate.
In what areas have you seen Skylar Bell take that next step as, you know, you moved away from minicamp and now it's, you know, pads are on and there's probably another heightened pressure?
Yeah, I think that we have thrown a ton at him. We've put him at a ton of different positions, ton of different routes. I mean, we have asked him to do a lot, and he has gone out there and he's done everything we've asked. He's smart. He can play those multiple positions. He can run a lot of routes. I think that, again, maybe the last couple of days there just hasn't. He's been open, and maybe I should say that maybe you called the play to get him the ball, and the specific coverage took it to somebody else. So again, we're excited with where he's at.
Joshua Palmer struggled with injuries last year. He looks like he's healthy and productive so far. What have you seen there?
Yeah, I think that he's had some opportunities, and he's made some good plays for us, particularly downfield. I think that it's good to see him out there. Again, I wasn't here last year, but my experience with him being out there has been real positive.
I'm sure what we'll see from Connor
Yeah, I think that feel really good. We've had personnel meetings as a staff and talked about just different roles for different guys, but we feel pretty good about with where we're at.
Pete, since you've been in the building, what have you learned about Coach Meyer, the offensive line coach, and how he coaches and kind of who he is?
Just his overall knowledge and experience of the game. He's really, like if something happens, he sees the big picture. It doesn't take him, like he can remember everything from practice, what happened. He obviously has a great relationship with the players, but his knowledge of not only just in run game, pass game, and protection, all of it, he's just been around, so the experience is very valuable.
You moved DJ, Khalil, and Dalton around kind of interchangeably during camp. What's the advantage of that, especially against a defense that maybe doesn't travel corners from one side to the other based on personnel?
Yeah, I think that the nice thing is maybe when you have some core concepts of your offense, but the ability to put different guys there so it looks different to the defense, you're creating a little bit of a different picture where one formation might be what you would call maybe like a pro formation or a slot form. One might be a slot formation, 3-by-1, but when you can move guys around and maybe do some of the same concepts, it really brings value to the offense.
How would you evaluate the fullback position right now, both from a competition standpoint, but also just big picture, how they're being used in this offense?
Yeah, I think that that continues to develop a little bit more for us, evaluating them in the run game. I think that we'll have some opportunities to get some more periods, again, as more and more practices with the pads on. So I think their volume on those days will increase, and we'll let the competition keep going. Okay, thank you.